Welcome to Nobody Knows with Joey Johnson, powered in part by Deep Wax Productions and Classic of Denton.
Hey everybody, we're back. How many weeks did we miss?
2 weeks. We missed a full 2 weeks.
We missed a whole entire 2 weeks. We've been off.
But for me and Jake, it feels like it's been a month.
A month? Why is that? Why does it feel longer than it's been?
It's just how me and Jake think.
That's just how you feel?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like it's been years for me. We are back. It is episode 36. Nobody knows. This is that sponsor portion thing that everyone is still getting used to because we still can't believe people are backing this thing.
Yeah.
So apparently somebody knows, and that somebody who knows is Deep Wax Productions.
Deep Wax Productions.
What do you want to say about Deep Wax Productions, Richie, before I do the professional plug?
Deep Wax has been there when we needed them there.
Okay, yeah. Well, Deep Wax Productions is ran by Mr. Mark Zimmerman, the Mad Dabber. A good man, a man who it is a promotions production company.
Mm-hmm.
They put on a lot of shows in the area, charity shows, benefits. They help fund a lot of the arts out here. So Deep Wax Productions is a sponsor of your good show. A plug for them. They are going to be doing an event at the Bearded Monk here March 10th. That is a Saturday. It is a charity event for the We Defied Foundation, which is a charity that helps veterans with PTSD. What they are doing is they are doing a big pillow fight event at the Bearded Monk. For example, Javorce James, who comedian we've had on here before, will be pillow fighting Zach Johnson from the Bearded Lady. John Williams and Ben Easley, owners of Eastside and Bearded Monk, will be fighting each other. There's $10 donations. All comers can fight, so it's like an open mic with pillow fights. So make sure you check that out March 10th. Make sure you follow Deep Wax Productions on Twitter,
Are you trying
Instagram,
to pillow fight somebody?
Facebook. What?
Are you trying to pillow fight somebody?
Well, this is funny because right here in the description it says Javorce James, comedian extraordinaire and stand-in for Taylor Higginbotham and Joey Johnson. They reached out to me asking if I want to do it, but I'm leaving for Colorado to go do some snowboarding and shows that day. But when they initially asked me, they said, do you want to do it versus an MMA fighter, which I thought was amazing. But, I mean, is Zach from Bearded, was he an MMA? He's got size. He could maybe fight. He's got size and tattoos. That's a big,
Shout out
big
Zach.
bad guy. Nah, he's a good guy. All right. So, yeah, Deep Wax Productions. Go check that out March 10th at the Bearded Monk. Okay, sponsor stuff is done. We did that. Remember that car place that Jake always tells you about? Go there.
Talking about Classic?
Classic of what?
Classic of Denton.
Oh, yes. That place. Okay, so that's the sponsor thing. We're going to start with the music. Richie, you didn't get any interviews today, did you? No,
too many curse words.
Too many curse words. Well, so we're going with stock intro. Then we'll be back here in literally 5 seconds and enough time for us as I keep talking to stretch out time so I can type in dentonradio.com on Facebook so I can share this. Okay, time's been filled. Jake's going to hit that little play button, and that's it.
Nobody knows Joey Johnson, not even Richie Flo. Nobody knows Joey Johnson.
Nobody knows Joey Johnson. Nobody knows Joey Johnson.
Man, that was really, really quick. The intro to this is going to be us staring at our phones.
Can you play that one more time?
Because we are sharing
Now,
this
let me
thing,
reenact that.
and we are live.
Nobody knows Joey Johnson, not even me. No, not you.
Jake,
No.
on the title page right there, it's Nobody with a Knobody.
Nobody.
Is that intentional? Is that... Wait, can we go back for just if there is anyone watching live? Before, like, it's KN at the bottom. Nobody knows. That's kind of clever.
I
like
love that. I love that. I love that. I wanted it to be nobody knows, like someone's nose.
Well,
Nobody
clearly,
knows.
nobody does know. We were back since the damn
Nobody
awards.
reads.
Since the damn awards.
Nobody knows how to read.
We didn't win. That was the thing.
Yeah.
All our devoted listeners out there, where are you at? All two of you that are watching right now.
You were kind of mad that I didn't
What
vote.
happened? You didn't vote?
You know I didn't vote.
You
I
didn't
don't
vote.
I don't vote for stuff. I don't vote for stuff that
Your
I'm
vote
involved
makes
in.
a difference, Richie. You understand?
I
that?
know, but if I would have won and it would have been by my vote, I wouldn't feel good about
It
that.
wouldn't have been by your vote. Your vote
Might
would
have been.
added on. To
Every vote counts.
Every vote counts. You're right. So what's been up, man? It's been 2 weeks.
2
We
weeks.
haven't been here. been
we
a
had all
tough
these
2
plans.
weeks
We
for
had
me,
these crazy
man.
plans.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, we were gonna do
I'm
the
gonna put
Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't do that.
Yeah, but you canceled. The thing
I
is,
didn't cancel.
Okay, I had to cancel.
You
Sorry,
had to
guys.
cancel. Jake was sick 2 weeks ago. Then Richie's significant other got sick for the Valentine's episode. And here we are. Or was it Valentine's sick, then Jake got sick? That's how it happened.
Jake got sick,
And then I got sick, too. I'm good now. I wasn't good. Don't give me that look. What are you doing?
I just don't like to be around sick people.
Don't buffalo eye me. That's not.
I rarely get sick, and I don't know if it's because I don't hang around a lot of sick people or if I hang around a lot of sick people.
It's because you're just not sick, fam.
Nah, yeah,
You're not. You're not sick.
I don't
with
get sick.
So what have you been up to since you're not getting sick?
Making vlog, I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. A lot of people, if they even have YouTube or if even typed in RITCHY.
Everyone has YouTube. Everybody has it. That's a thing that is accessible.
Y'all
to
do
everybody.
have YouTube, guys out there.
You have access. Richie has a vlog, which is a vlog except with the word flow in it.
Yeah.
What is it? Tell people what your vlog is.
Vlog is a flow vlog.
It's just
But
your
here's the
week.
thing.
It's what you're doing throughout the week.
All week, yeah. Here's the thing about
It's entertaining for someone. I mean, I normally don't care what anyone does with their week, and I watch these.
You're on them.
Yeah, maybe that's why I watch them.
You're like, okay, what did I do this week? But yeah, that was cool. Honestly, did you watch the Damn Awards one?
The Damn Awards vlog? It was during the week of the Damn Awards?
Yeah. So there was this point where we were giving away an award, and some lady accepted the award on behalf of somebody.
Emily O'Connor's mom. Emily won.
Yes.
Something mixed media artist or graphic.
And we confused the heck out of her.
What do you
because
mean?
I was filming, because I was trying to get footage from stage of the Damn Awards. So
for your vlog.
For the
so
vlog.
you had your phone up on stage while you were up there presenting an award.
Very professional,
Yeah, clearly so professional.
And
hold up award show. I got to film for my YouTube channel.
And the lady was looking at my phone and confused her, and you were talking to her, and then it was just a hullabaloo.
Okay, so we didn't win Best Radio Show. You didn't win Best Producer. I didn't win Best Open Mic Host or Best Comedian.
Who won Best Mic Host? Open Mic Host.
DentonRadio.com. The trophy is right here.
He's putting it in your face.
Taunting me in my face. It's facing me.
He's like, oh wait,
Best Open Mic.
Hey, do we
host.
still have that Damn Awards award because Joe's coming in?
Let me grab this thing. I gotta show it to the camera. These are bigger than last year. These are so much bigger. I've lost this one 2 years in a row now.
Yeah,
lost to Jake Steinberg.
You're always losing to someone named Jake.
And then Mikey, Mr. Kind Beats over there, thanked me on the. Oh, I'm getting a call. That's good. Thanked me on the award show, and I was like, dude, I just lost to this. When he accepted, he's like, Denton Radio, all those people, Joey Johnson for all you do. I was like, man, I just lost. They had 2 of my awards up front. So.
That was good.
Well, hey, next year, man, best magician. It's all
best
yours.
Everything. We're gonna take it all. We need mixtapes. We need.
I did from a little birdie hear someone with some good knowledge that we were really close on Best Radio Show. This is the truth, that we were neck and neck with the winner. I think Mike Briggs I think that's his name, of Kazoo. And then I think last second he just pulled away. We should have petitioned for those votes harder.
I should have voted.
You should have voted. Well, we have a good episode for you guys. This is gonna be a great episode. This is gonna be the start of our award-winning season. Everybody, Episode 36 is where we start changing things.
It's crazy how we go
not
from
having an intro, not investing time.
We don't need an intro for this show.
That's how you don't win an award. Is miss
we got
2
JB.
Weeks, don't do any pre-production, and So you ready?
We got James's brother.
We got JB.
We got James's brother.
James's brother, Justin Bieber. No, we have the man of the hour. Because literally, that's all we have is an hour. He's a very good guy. He's a good friend. I've been doing stand up with him for a while now. We're gonna bring him in. He's Mr. John Brown. He's been in the area for a while. So let's pause, play that music. We'll bring him in, get him situated. Mr. John Brown will be coming in episode 36. Nobody knows. Okay. Okay, back. Everybody, guess who we have here? Mr. John Brown. What's up, dude?
Taking it easy with old JBZ.
How's it going?
That's what they see.
You just gave the rock signs. You're not on stage. They gotta hear you.
Yeah, here I am.
Here you are. What's been up, dude? How's it been going?
Pretty good.
A lot of people don't know. I mean, I've been trying to get you on. We're like episode 36 now. It is insane to think like I'm just getting you on.
We've had you
So
on
you guys
before.
didn't win.
We haven't had John before.
What?
No,
We've never had you in here, right?
I don't think so.
Well, my oldest friends in stand-up. Even Richie thought we had got you in for a
No,
while. But
well-
you've been busy, man. You've been around.
Yeah, like I live in Dallas now, so it's, I'll come up here when I can. But it's hard to put it together.
I know we
'cause
went swimming together. It
We
was
did.
just as fun as.
Where'd you guys go swimming at? My house?
That was a long time ago.
My place?
It's almost not winter again.
I know. It's about to be a year, dude. My pool's about to be back in commission.
And then back out of commission for 2 weeks.
Which I got to say,
Due to algae.
if you don't have a place with a pool, I recommend it. I cannot afford it. Luckily, we have a landlord who pays for all the chemicals.
Walmart brand bleach.
I have no idea what's in there. I don't even know. I
About
barely
6
even
jugs.
I've barely talked to the landlord. I don't know what man is in there pouring what into my pool, but it is amazing. You gotta, if you don't have a pool, get one.
I'm working on
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get 3 things I want: a pool, $1 million, and some respect.
John scooted a little bit for cameras.
Sorry.
A pool and some respect. So you're out in Dallas area. I mean, do you have a pool at your?
Yes.
It's like
What
a
pool are you
flat
using
or
right now?
something?
Hold on. Gotta wet my whistle. So we have a pool, but I don't get in it because it's cold outside.
So it's outdoor though, because you live in
Yeah.
like a nice it's like a decent little.
Yeah, it's a
You
nice
live in
apartment.
downtown Dallas. It's a nice little apartment. You're living with Bender. He's another comedian out in the area.
Uptownish Robert Bender.
Yeah. How's that been, man?
Really
You're
good.
living- You're
Yeah.
living skyline life. I see your Snapchats. You're like Bruce Wayne out there.
Yeah, you know what? He took a picture last night, and when I saw the picture, I immediately thought of Batman.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
It's all foggy right now and stuff.
Yes.
You're right by it's not
Vista
Reunion
Ridge?
Tower with is the green building or
Oh yeah. Well, it's in the view, but
Okay.
yeah, it's down there by the Gables.
He's,
the big
dude,
Gables
he's
building.
living nice right now. He's got a nice little place. But I mean, dude, you've been on.
Don't say it out loud. I want these 3 people to come running. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got a whole maybe 10 viewers
probably
right now.
more now,
So.
yeah.
I like this.
Can
I've
they
never
see?
seen trailer spelled that way.
Douglas Trailer, the guy who commented, Trailer?
I don't know.
Is that Taylor with an R?
He spelled trailer wrong.
And he said, "I don't know." That's the only
Douglas,
comment
what do
we've
you
gotten.
not know?
What do you not
If
know,
you have-
Douglas?
Is this about my flog?
But essentially, so dude, I mean, it's great. So you used to be, I mean, you lived in Denton for the longest time. I mean,
Yeah,
you
like 10
were
years.
a Denton comic. I mean, that's how we met was
Yeah.
doing Denton comedy.
Mhm.
And I mean, we'll get through all this because I want to, you work a lot. I mean, you work hard doing stand up. I mean, you and I, we used to go to Austin every single
Yeah.
Monday. I would get paid from the Bearded Monk open mic. Take that $50. We would go do open mics in Austin just to
Yeah.
meet people.
In the van.
Yeah, in the van. You ended up moving in the van to Denver area. Now you're back in Dallas. You're working. You're about to go do some shows in Denver. I mean, dude, it's been
Next week.
it's been a lot. You've been all over, right? Like recently,
Yeah.
at least within the past year.
Yeah, and it hasn't been. It's like day to day. I just kind of make my plans. Like when I see, okay, this might be. I gotta go this way. I can't ever say where I'm gonna be, even in 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
But I think it's like that for everyone.
I mean, such is the way of performing, especially when you start traveling, hitting road stuff, and
Yeah.
I was supposed to, like I told you, get that job with the Denton Community Market. That kind of fell through, and I'm kind of happy right now because I don't want all my Saturdays to be taken. I need
Work.
to travel. You know what I mean? I just the community market thing would have been a great job, but the week before, this comic we talked about, James Ponce from Hyenas, he gave me all this list of comedy clubs. He's like, hey man, go hit all these people up, and I'll vouch for you.
Yeah.
And then I immediately got this job, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait
I gotta
until
go work at the community market.
yeah, which would have been tight. Money's tight. I mean, I probably would have made more money doing week in, week out at the community market, but I need those travel dates, man.
You don't
Yeah.
need money. You need
Food.
money.
Well, I mean, this is I guess this is a pretty interesting episode in itself. John and myself both done a lot of road work. Richie, you're planning a lot with magic and stuff right now. I mean, so you moved for a while. You left
Yeah.
Denton. You went to Denver for a while.
Yeah.
You were living in the van. You were doing the van comedy life. I mean, give us a breakdown on your day.
Wake up
like
in the
a day
van.
by
It
day.
was pretty routine.
Really?
I would, I would sleep in the parking lot of this Walmart.
Like Walmart's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Commerce City.
Because it's legal in Walmart's, right? Like Walmart has a thing where it's like
yeah.
they're okay with it.
Well, they don't want you driving so long that you'll wreck your car, so they let you sleep in
Walmart
the parking
cares.
lot. People are going to, it's Denver. But Denver doesn't, I don't think they have Walmarts in the city limits or something, and
Right.
they close them down at like 10 or 11. So they're not even open at night.
Yeah.
And so everyone's parked out there. There's a lot of people parked out there.
It's like a camp
It
city.
is. It's a lot like that. I've heard a lot of stuff. And people come knock on your windows 4 a.m. and get $1.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I'm stranded. And I'm like, me too.
Yeah,
Walmart,
Walmart,
get out of here. You know?
These
Did
Walmarts
you put blankets on
You
the
got a
windows?
cigarette? Yeah. I had like curtains and stuff. They couldn't see me. I was just yelling
Okay.
at them.
Okay.
But yeah,
So I went out and did shows in Boston area. I stayed in a Walmart.
that's crazy.
No, it was like 3 a.m. I was driving back from Boston. I'm in Tennessee.
In your car.
In Tennessee in my car, and realized I have like 3% of oil, So
Whoa.
I'm like, oh my God, 3%, 3 a.m. So I park at
I
the
didn't know it would
Walmart.
go away like that.
You can get only 3%.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
It got that low. Oh no, dude! I towed the line with the oil. All this. So essentially, it was at 3% oil. I had to park my car
Yeah.
in this Walmart in Tennessee, sleep in there for like,
Why don't you just get
until
some more
6
oil?
a.m. Because there's nowhere to get oil at that.
You're at a
time.
Walmart?
So I had.
Oh,
to,
is it closed?
Yeah. So I like tied sleeves of shirts together and made like so no one could see inside of the car and stuff. Because that's just like weird to me
Yeah.
too. I don't want people
I do
watching
that
me
every night. You get
when I
used to it.
sleep. Really? So you didn't line the windows at all?
No, I did.
Ever?
I hung up. I had like made a
Like
deal.
That's the only time I've ever had to do it. But anyway, so you wake up in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, it got really like makeshift. I started just hanging shirts. I didn't care. I was like, whatever to block it.
I mean, you
'cause
wake up, you walk into
There's
the
all these.
Walmart.
There's all this
sometimes you're
space.
intoxicated.
Do you
know,
walk into the Walmart, buy yourself a Mickey D, like a McGriddle, or no?
It would be closed because after the mics, I would come back. It'd be like 1 a.m. and-
Walmart's closed at 1 in the morning.
Yeah,
in
out there they
Denver?
would close them at like 11.
Really?
Yeah, so that's what sucks. You got to make sure you go to the bathroom before they close everything up because you don't want to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in your van.
Right.
So I would wake up in the morning. I worked at a Philly cheesesteak restaurant out there during the day.
Yeah. You worked there and you worked at the Comedy
I worked
Club,
at the
right?
Improv in Denver, and I worked at a hotel on the weekends.
So
out
3
there.
jobs, living
Yeah.
in the van, still
3
having time for
piecemealed.
mics and shows. And
I had to
stuff.
do it. I had to do like 3 separate jobs a certain amount of time during the week because I could put in the windows that I could do it.
Yeah.
And whenever I would wake up, I'd basically wake up and get, I'd go into the Carl's Jr. that was right in that parking lot and brush my teeth, whatever the bathroom, whatever I got to do.
Right,
People
right,
walk
right.
in there and like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, no, come on in. It's
But this is like Colorado
party.
too. I feel like
yeah, it's still kind of weird, I think, to people, but they
a lot of
expect
people
it.
I know, like out there, they live in like mountain towns and stuff, and they do stuff like this. But a lot of people understand because they're like, "Oh, you're just trying." A lot of
Natives-
people move to Colorado trying to live in Colorado because it's like this form
Oh, yeah.
of paradise. It's a beautiful mountain town, great
They hate
climate,
it.
atmosphere.
The natives are like, get out of here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then you're like, well, we are here paying taxes.
I mean, you lived the epitome of the comedy grind. I mean, you dropped. I mean, when you lived here, most people that don't know that are listening, like you had a house, you had
a roommate.
your stuff seemed to, like you were so everything was so put together, and then you just dropped it all, went and did stand up in Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, but now you're back, you're living in like a nice place, and now you're getting to go back and do shows.
Yep.
I mean, it's like that's the epitome of the grind. You
Yeah,
dropped
it was
everything.
a wild, like,
Yeah.
180.
You dropped all material items. You came back.
Well, I had to.
You came back funnier.
It's like you say with a job, and I realized, like, if I'm going to pay for all this, I have to get a job again.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to live in the van.
I mean, and you were already like we were friends. You were already a funny comic, but then you came back, and it's just like something like turns
Yeah.
there whenever you are forced to like go through these
Yeah.
experiences. I guess.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's a percentage of it.
Yeah, sleep
Yeah,
in
that
some
song,
Walmarts and
Mobb
it'll be
Deep.
pretty funny.
You know I'm deep, right?
Yeah.
There's that song, I got to make sure I can say the words. Okay, yeah. The Halfway Crook song.
Yeah.
So there's a part in there where he says, like, closer to God, and it's something about closer to God. No, I can't remember the lyrics right now, but I just remember hearing that, even though that's about, like, gangsters. I hear it, and I'm like, oh, man, this is it, because you're out there by yourself. I didn't know anybody.
Hey, the
Like,
altitude too. You're closer to
Oh.
the theoretical heavens, right?
Yeah, you can't run anywhere. But I went up in the mountains, and that was a little quick side story. I went up in the mountains, and camped and like really camped in the mountains. I thought about there's bears. You gotta like
they got
lock
real
your
bears.
food up. Yeah. And
did you ever experience anything like any wilderness, like trying to mess with your van or anything?
Tarantulas or something?
No. No, it was only one night, and
I
I was awake the whole night. I thought about the bears, and I was like, I gotta get out of here.
How often did you get snowed in?
Oh,
you were out there pretty much during.
It started snowing right before I
ski
left.
season, right? Or before ski season.
Right before. It snows more, I think, around like this time of year.
Yeah.
But it was right before I left. It started snowing, and I got a hotel room that had a discount and everything, and I slept that one night in the hotel. It was great. But then I was like, oh, this is gonna keep happening. And when I came back, I went through my whole issues with my car. Someone took it, the people that I was paying.
Oh, can we talk about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we can. I don't care.
That's a
Yeah, because
funny-
I came back and I had
It's
to
a
switch
funny
back.
story that you drove it to them. I mean, do you want to like tell?
Oh
that?
yeah, as I like
we
giving my
talked about
mom
this.
back the van, and I was like, getting my car
Because you were living
back.
in a van you initially got from your mom. I went with you on the
Yes.
trip to get it from your mom. Me
Yes,
and Mikey
she's probably
B.
listening, yeah.
Me and Mikey B. Yeah, hi, John's mom. She's great. She likes a lot of my stuff
John
on
mom.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And she's great. She's always like posting about what she's eating. I feel like I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
know what your
And
mom's
she'll
eating on
barely eat
Facebook.
Yeah, she's great.
Me and Mikey B, who's been on the show before, we were doing a comedy competition in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And you were going to go trade your mom your car for this van in South Carolina.
Yeah, we're gonna switch cars.
So John wanted someone to ride with him in South Carolina, so I was like, yeah, I'll go ride with you. We were going to go hit some mics. We never had the time to, I don't think. But we drove all the way to South Carolina.
All the way there.
All the way there. I'm pretty sure John drove the whole way there.
And I talked, and you slept, and then you woke up.
Yeah,
and I was
John
still
took an
talking.
Adderall for the drive, and I didn't feel good after the comedy competition, so I would fall asleep and wake up, and John would still be holding a conversation with me, entirely asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great trip, man. And we went out to South Carolina, got John this van, and so that's the van you were living with.
Yeah,
in
originally
Denver.
we were supposed to do. I think we were just gonna tour in it and stuff. But
Yeah,
then,
that was the original
I needed,
plan.
to get out of my house.
I mean, when we would do the open mics every Monday in Austin,
We would go down there.
we would go in the van and we would pile up in the back. And I'm not going to name any names. There was one day I got stuck with some really stinky comedians back there in the back while Sal set up in the front.
Chiva.
it was some of them. But I mean, dude, that was
Yeah.
the van thing was tight, man. That's the epitome of traveling
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
performing.
I rebuilt my bed in there. I slept in my bed, and it was nice and chilly. When
Oh, wait. You have a bed in your
Yeah,
van?
I had already built my own bed stand. I just rebuilt it in there to fit
Uh-huh.
inside the van, and the mattress thing I had in there was perfect. And so I
It
slept.
was elevated a little too, right? Because you could put things under.
Yeah, I have stuff underneath, like a thing I pull out with all my socks and underwear. I lived like a normal life. I washed my clothes all the time. Everything.
You're
was
just like a
folded.
normal human.
Mhm.
It was very
Yeah.
normal. It was just
Tony
really easy
Hinchcliffe.
for comics to make
Yeah.
jokes. That was all it was.
Yeah.
And
Tony-
but he was honestly living the grind,
Well,
man.
It reminded me why I was out there. I'm sitting there at Wendy's eating my 4 for $4, listening to podcasts.
So
and,
4
like,
for 4 items for
four
$4.
for $4, yeah.
What's your 4 for 4?
Because you
Talk
can get a
about that.
4 for $4 if you overdraft your account. They won't charge you a fee because it's under $5. Ayo.
Hey,
Write that down, everybody. Yeah. So
that's what
So when I
stand-up
was broke,
comedy is all about.
yeah.
People don't even understand you don't have to work harder. You need to work smarter.
just gotta
And
be able to eat.
You took away rent. You took away overdraft fees. You were still able to eat. What's your 4 for 4? What are the 4 items?
I usually would get the chicken nuggets and the
Fries.
junior cheeseburger, fries, and a drink. That's what you
Okay,
get.
that's nice.
I'd eat that. Listen to
I mean, I think that's the
podcasts.
thing. It's not. I mean, you want to do comedy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Obviously.
And you know that for a fact now, more than you ever did. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
It takes you. I just know people that are like, man, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and I'm like, you play video games all day
Yeah. Do that.
at your parents' house.
If you're not going to get paid for that, you're not. I mean, it's fine if you enjoy doing that in your time.
Oh, yeah,
but
you
if
play
you're
video
doing that
games.
to fill,
Yeah.
no, I see. I just
like,
now.
"Oh, oh."
No. I just now got oh, is that? Are you
No, I'm not saying you. No, I just I got friends that I grew up with that they'll message me and be like, hey man, I always see you doing stuff I'm still trying to find what I want to do, and I'm like, hey,
Right.
Yeah.
we're old enough that you better know what you're trying to do. You're not just gonna
See, Mikey just moved in. Again, Mikey B, who we've talked about, he moved into my place, and he moved in with that PlayStation. So
Yeah.
I have been playing a little bit
No,
more.
I'm not saying that.
That's
I'm
probably why
saying,
you guys didn't get
nah.
best radio show.
Yeah.
Radio shows, 'cause of video
We're
games,
slacking.
because of Fortnite.
But no, there's just you're not just gonna buy a Betty Crocker brownie mix, and then next thing you know, oh, you know what, I want to be a baker now, and then you're just if you're 30 ish. Like you need to.
When I was like getting close to 30, that's when I gotta try this. And
it's not even an age thing, but it's like once you're trying to figure out what you really want to do, you got to just let go of everything else.
You realize you're gonna die.
Yeah,
relatively soon. We don't live that long.
Yeah, I realized that. I think and I realized it weirdly young because I was like 23 at the time working at that skate
you're
shop,
24
and I was like,
right
I'm
now.
not very good at skateboarding. I'm 27. 27 now, and at 23, I realized I was like, I'm working at the skate shop. I'm not as good as my friends at skateboarding. My body's like falling apart doing this. Like, am I just gonna be an old guy at a skate shop the whole time, like not being what he's? And then that's when it like kind of clicked, and you realize like I only have so much time to make anything worth anything. I
pretty much always.
You're not gonna live forever, so you might as well be memorable, and that's what's cool about stand-up magic or like any form of like whatever you do is. You bring something to people and you give them a reason.
The journey, the experience.
Your reason is their reason to get through their day, because they feel like they're not doing that. So.
Yeah, if you're going to go for it, you got to go for it. You can't, like, sit here and, like, I see people that come out a couple mics a week. And they don't, because you got to do it a lot. That's why you talk about Denver and all, like, the improvement. There's so many open mics. Like, you can do 20-something open mics. Yeah. And you don't even have to try that hard. And so you run out of stuff to talk about. So you just... I'm just going to tell this story here, or do this. And so you just start doing anything you can to say something new. And next thing you know, you're like, oh.
You stumble upon that stuff.
Yeah, I started figuring out, like, this is what I'm going to do.
And I think that's why we became such good friends. I mean, you and I were both always willing to go out there and put yourself in, like, worst, harder situations. I mean, before I met you is when I'd been on the road for 4 months. I had my own stories of living in a car and, like, we broke down in New Orleans. You know what I mean? I met George Lopez in Philadelphia. He was like, hey, man, keep doing, like, you're doing the right, and just little things like that, like little ups and downs of the road and, like, working really hard for something that really isn't paying a lot right now because you hope it can pay a little in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you got to hug one of your heroes, George Lopez.
Yeah. I didn't hug him.
You didn't? Why wouldn't you?
Why didn't you hug
him? A good dad figure on the TV
I think
show.
my
you got a
arms
picture?
around him in the picture.
Dude.
Come on in, mijo. Come on.
Remember? I would, like, remember every second, like, every celebrity encounter. I remember, like, how much I hugged them.
It was after I was in Philadelphia. It was after the Eagles game. I'm an Eagles fan. I was slightly intoxicated, to be honest.
And
he was intoxicated also. We actually so
you're good, kid.
No, it was
keep it going. I don't know.
You want to grab me a beer?
So it was after the Eagles game. We're in Philly. It was like Monday night. So the first week of every NFL season was week 1. So their Monday night game, they have 2 Monday night games. They have an East Coast and a West Coast game. So I'm an Eagles fan. My buddy who I was traveling with doing stand-up. Oh, look, Jake pulled it up. There's a picture of me with the long hair. There's George Lopez. There's Cedric the Entertainer right there.
That's funny.
So
you look like Wild Bill.
With the long hair and the beard and everything. So we left this Philadelphia bar. Both our teams lost that night, I think, me and my buddy Brett. And so we see George Lopez and we see people taking – all right, so it's 3 a.m. We're like, we're going to go get a cheesesteak. Some guy recommends this place called Jim's. You go across the street and you do what they call a South Street taco. And you get this big slice of pizza across the street and you put the cheesesteak in the pizza and you wrap it. Okay. And that's why Philadelphia is smelly and obese. But – so we went there. That place was closed, and we're like, all right, we're going to go to Pat and Gino's, which are the 2 famous places in the downtown area, and they're across the street from each other. So we're driving around. We heard Gino's a racist, and we see everyone's at Pat's. So we're like, oh, we'll go to Pat's. Turns out everyone's at Pat's because George Lopez and Cedric the Entertainer are sitting there ordering cheesesteaks. So we're like, all right.
For everyone?
Not for everyone. No, to be honest, like, so Lopez is in like a suit or whatever he was wearing there. I'm not sure what he's wearing. And Cedric, you see him with the hat. He was wearing like pajama pants, and they were both with these very, very, very too good looking ladies, like they picked up, at the show. And so they're ordering, and we order, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to bother them. And then the owner starts asking for pictures. Everyone comes up and asks for pictures. We're like, all right, we're going to ask for pictures, We go up, start taking pictures, and he sees me and my Eagles stuff and sees Brett and his 49ers. He goes, wait, where are you guys from? You guys from Philly? And we're like, no, man, we're from Texas. I'm doing comedy and stuff, yada, yada.
And he kept talking?
And he did, yeah. He was like, oh, man, how's the road been? I go, oh, we broke down in New Orleans. He looks over to Cedric. He goes, you hear that, Cedric? I was like, what, you guys broke down in New Orleans? He goes, man, everyone breaks down in New Orleans.
That's why some people still living there.
and you could tell they had a long night. He was a little bit, he was out there. And so we take the picture, and he goes in back to the table for a little bit, takes some bites of fries. We go to our table. He comes, grabs his sandwich and drink, and puts it. I'm sitting across from my buddy Brett. Sits next to Brett and sits across the street from me, across the table from me
at the pizza place across the street,
right
screaming at me. Hey, you had one of these South Street tacos? You had one of these? No, he's across the table, and he goes, "So you're a comedian?" And just started talking to me, and just the only advice he gave, which is very, but he's like, "Dude, just keep writing." He's like, "You don't want to wake up and write, do." But he just, but that's what he was saying. He said, he's like, "You're doing the right thing right now." He's like, "It's not paying. You're doing free shows. You're doing open mics."
You're not dead.
But you're getting to meet people. You're doing, and that was early in my career. Now I have people, career, quote unquote career. It's not a career, but I have people that I met out there on the road, that hit me up. Krish Mohan, who's a dude I met in Pittsburgh. He's a DC comic. He's hitting me up right now to get shows out here, and it's cool. You meet people like you're going and doing Denver Improv. I've seen you bring Denver comics out here on shows. I mean,
well, yeah, they'll come by.
I'll
say come on through, and there's some people coming in the summer from Denver, and like these people like are out there working hard at these mics, a lot of intimate. I call them meat grinder mics, where you go in there and it's just like it's raw, man. You're just you got to work the room. And this guy, Aaron Maslow's out there. He says. Really funny guy.
So people that don't do comedy, define what you think a meat grinder is before you tell what is a meat grinder mic? Set
experience.
That room.
You get up there, already, like hat tricks. Yes. You go up there, it's gonna be a rough mic, and people are gonna, sometimes people yell at you.
For those that don't know hat tricks, it's a bar in Louisville off 121 Corporate.
Nothing against the bar itself.
No, it's not a bad mic. I mean, Jamie Gravy runs it. He's a great comedian.
It's fun.
It is fun because it's so tough. It is so. It's a bar mic. I mean, it's like
people talking.
My go-to line when I go up there, I call it like the Saddest Journey song.
That's where you say the first thing the first time. This is where I'm gonna say this the first time. But yeah, they're doing all these things and they're really funny, and we have a bunch of clubs here.
But this comic you were talking about, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have a bunch of clubs here, and they don't have that many there, so they don't get a lot of opportunity. But dudes like Aaron, they're really funny. You know? But
Aaron, a lot of clubs in Denver area?
There's Comedy Works, South Comedy Works downtown, Improv. That's pretty much it. You can go to Springs. There's Looney's, which, I got booked there, but it's hard getting booked in Denver.
I would think there would be bigger, more clubs out there. You always hear, bigger comics talk about how much they really
Comedy Works.
You always hear them talk about Comedy Works. Yeah.
Wendy, she's like, you can't compete with her. That room is the best room in the country,
That's what I hear.
I think Fort Worth Hyenas is
what makes
really
that the best room in the country for you?
It's just everything about it. You go down in the cellar and the way that everybody sits right next to each other. Yeah, you're right next to each other. Everything's nice, little basement-y type thing. Like the lighting.
Good mood right off the bat.
You're right next to each other, so you're not spread out like tables. So the laughter's more contagious, and the room is just electric.
Richie, you need to be hitting up these comedy clubs and doing your magic act, dude.
They'll book you.
Hyenas.
Wednesday nights and stuff. So yeah.
Tell them to go to my website or check me out on my vlog.
That you don't have. Are you getting
no?
Right
I'm actually working on. Actually, almost. I was.
Have you seen that guy? The video.
Which one?
Magician, the Asian guy. God, I forgot his name. It's a viral video. It's got 300 million views. But he's like, I have 2 certs, and he goes, wow, and they're connected, and there's always drunk people on college campus, and they're like, what? And they fall off the thing. They're all
Can
drunk.
we find that, Jake, or is there
it's
cursing
hilarious.
in it? Is there cursing in it?
I think he blanks it out, but I forget his name.
Can we find it? Is there a YouTube video?
But he's really good. He's funny.
What would you look up on YouTube for that?
Just type in Asian magician.
Asian magician.
What?
Is that within our contract?
It's like Chung Ling Soo, who was.
Shut up.
He was actually no. He's actually Ching Lung Soo was you can look this up. He was actually a white man who pretended like he was.
That's right. I think it's
which one?
Is it the second
Asian
one?
Man.
That's him right there.
He has a hat, the green hat, the second one.
Oh no, that might not be it. Don't click on that.
He's turning it down.
Yeah.
Is this it?
I don't know if that's him. That ain't him.
Oh, these are the 2 guys that like.
I'm assuming there's more than one Asian magician.
How is it not up there? It was viral video. Anyways,
Willie D, the magician. But yeah, I mean, dude, I always hear how good Comedy Works is. I always hear people talk about.
Is it really that good?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
It's just the room itself.
Oh, the room the same.
They have new talent night on Tuesday nights, and usually.
I mean, since you haven't been doing music, since you've been since you've been doing more magic shows recently, I mean, have you had a room yet where you're you notice all the difference? Because in comedy you notice that low ceilings, like an intimate space, a tall stage, people sitting close. Like there's certain things, the lighting, like the box it makes. There's certain things that you notice like about a room that makes your performance
and the
like,
stars align.
Here's the
better.
thing. Here's the difference between comedy and magic that I just realized recently. At the end of all my tricks, I just go, "That's magic! Yeah, go on!" And everyone's like, "Oh yes!" And they get all like loud. You can't do that.
You like
in
this,
comedy.
Everything down your sleeves.
Yeah, you can't do that in comedy. You
That's
can't
not
be
the
like,
question,
"Ha ha ha ha! That's a joke!" Like,
but pertaining to a room, has there ever? I mean, you've surely been on a stage or a room where you felt like, "Oh, this is so much more."
I'm still always so uncomfortable.
Appropriate for magic. This is more conducive towards magic. Like that's what I would say. Like there's a lot of rooms I go into.
Darker rooms.
Yeah, darker rooms, I guess. But I'm still so nervous. I can't.
You don't even notice that because there's rooms I notice before I even go up. I'm like, this is not conducive for comedy. Yeah,
it's like super
That's
bright.
the first thing I
lights.
look at. I look at the people in the room.
Like, how many TVs they got in here?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, like. Brett Crow does the Game Changers mic, and I don't go there because I always tell myself, "Oh, this isn't conducive for comedy." But to be honest,
supposed to be doing a show there again soon, putting together a show.
Yeah, because to be honest, I mean, man, if you can also get some laughs out of that room, you can get laughs out of a comedy club room. So I have to sometimes tell myself, like, just because this isn't conducive for comedy, maybe this is the most conducive thing I can do on this day for comedy.
Well, you can do any.
I mean, because I do magic at Game Changers, and it's like. At first, I was like, I mean, that sounds cool,
That's
but I don't
different,
really know
though.
what
You
I'm
walk
do.
around to do magic. You show separate groups magic, right?
You can do that.
No, but originally I was supposed to do a show, and when I walked in
Like a
there,
stage
there was no
performance.
way that I could have. I was like, there's like little kids running around. Like, I can't do a show here. No one's going to pay attention. So I was like, I'm just going to walk around and do magic instead. And I just started doing that.
I have some ideas for that place. But
yeah, so what's going on? You want to talk
well,
about
yeah,
any
I
of
haven't
that?
really, we haven't. I was supposed to call her today and discuss it, and we haven't really gotten to talk about it. And
don't want to make any announcements.
Well, I don't know.
Well, let's tell them. Let's go ahead and tell them.
No,
what
it's
you
just
got
basically like the show I had one there before. I'm trying to do something, but I'm gonna try to do like
because before you left for Denver, you started the mic there.
I was doing the show and the mic. It was a midnight mic, and I would do every third Tuesday, I think, like a show, like a showcase.
I kind of liked the midnight mic.
I did too. Yeah,
she liked it too.
She did.
Because I'm doing the trivia.
I think she still wants to do that.
That inspired us because
I'm not here now.
We used to go do that Monday mic in Monday in Austin, like you said.
And they had Spider House.
It was a midnight mic. We would go do Red Tavern in Austin, hosted by Andrew Burnett, who's now a comic in the area. Yeah, he's in Dallas. Yeah. He's a really good guy. He's funny.
Yes.
I need to get him on.
Andrew Bandana.
Andrew Bandana. And then we would go do the midnight mic at Spider House Saloon.
Spider House. Yeah.
That place was so cool, man.
Matthew. Marmaduke or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember his last name.
Tiny little midnight mic.
Tiny little guy.
Tiny little guy running a tiny little guy running a tiny little midnight
he was
mic.
Hilarious,
oh, he's very.
funny.
He don't do that anymore. Like, someone else took over it.
Really?
Yeah, that mic's been there for a long time.
Was it also a tiny little person?
No, I don't think so. I don't know who it is.
A big man running a tiny little mic. No, it's on Mondays though.
But that place,
it's dope because you sign up, they draw randomly, which.
In Denver,
I'm a fan of that.
They do that all. You don't know when you're going up.
People hate that, but I think that's great.
It's great because you have to be in the room.
Yeah, exactly. It forces people to sit
Boom.
and watch.
And you're always like, oh, my next one, and it gets you, which I don't care. Like
I
was
should start
cooking
doing that.
Yes,
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
Denton comedians, if you're listening right now, I kind of want to start doing it because I have an issue with, and here it's not an issue.
No, let it out.
It's an issue. It's not an issue with me. It's an issue for the room though. When all the comics are outside, like talking, and I get people like a hangout mic. Like
if you're not in the room, you don't get called up.
Yeah, and if you're not in the room, no one else is in the room to laugh. So it's like
sit up front, laugh.
It doesn't. That's the thing I try to get across to comics too. I'm like, listen, especially as someone who hosts a mic or shows, like if you're not in there laughing at their jokes, no one's gonna be in there laughing at your.
See, here's where I see things that y'all are doing. Like if I was a comedian right off the bat, everyone would be watching me because I would be giving $100 prize to whoever laughs the most.
What are you talking about?
No, you wouldn't. Shut up.
It's not worth that.
You wouldn't even. Yeah.
$5 prize to whoever.
You don't even have $5 as a comedian. That's not even a thing.
No, I would.
$5.
No, I would go into.
They'd be like, "This ain't worth it."
I have $120 in my wallet right now, and it's all going to my roommates for bills.
No, that's how it works. But I'm saying, like, I don't know. I think it would work.
Dude,
I don't think so.
The thing is, I hate watching comedy. I hate it.
No, I hate watching everything.
Some of my friends, if I knew my friends about to do a new joke.
You hate watching
because he's probably going to eat it.
open mic comedy?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even really like watching regular comedy, but I will find that certain comedians.
I'm a rapper who hates rap.
Certain comedians will get
it.
me. You know, whenever you realize, like, oh man, they had me for a minute. I was on that roller coaster with them, and you think you can't. You know, you just see and hear comedy, and you. In your head,
especially try not to watch comedians I like, which is weird. I try not to watch someone if I like them because I don't want to sound like them. But I like watching open mic comedy because I like it's good to be a student. It's good to sit there and realize, okay, this
especially
is what
when
that
Malik
person
shows up.
Yeah, John's been doing
you're gonna say the whole thing. I'll say the whole name. Malik
Johnson with a certain other initial in the middle, so it sounds like Leaky. So John's been going to open mics and writing in this fake person's name, so the host says this incriminating sentence essentially.
Yeah,
he got me at Bearded Monk.
It was hilarious. I wish you could play it.
And he signed up apparently today at the Improv, right?
Yes, he is going to be
Leaky Johnson.
Everybody's like, did you do this? I was like, no, man, he did it.
So your joke
no,
is
I didn't
now.
do it. I didn't do it. Yeah, someone else did it.
It's now catching on. So you've been going to every mic and writing down a fake comic
Did it
name.
at Mama's
and you've
mic.
been filming it and getting them.
Are you gonna make a doc?
I actually think I am going to put like a clip thing together.
A little compilation video. A lot of people don't realize it's little things like that that make stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
it's not even the stage stuff. Sometimes
that's what I
it's
said.
just those
that's
experiences.
Yeah, that's when you realize, like, because it's like a camaraderie that gets built up, and you guys.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna drop the name of the person. There's a comic I once had to take to a psych ward, and it was like the day after I got jumped on the square and had the 6 stitches in my
And you're
eyebrow.
the guy bringing him
My
in.
car's covered in blood. My car's covered in blood. I had hospital wristband on me. All this trash in my car because I've been living a terrible life. And I had to drop off this comic who looked like hell to a psych ward. And we just pulled up, and me and this comic just started laughing, dying, because we're like, we look so bad right now. You know at the end of Pineapple Express when, like, Danny McBride's ears, like, half shot off, and they're eating at the diner? Like, that's what it looked like, just the crack of the sun. And I'm taking this person to a psych ward with just my car covered in blood and stitches on my eyebrow. And it's just little things like that.
Cured him.
What did you do?
It's the little things like that people don't even see in stand-up. And I hate to fall on the trope of how dark it can sometimes be, but it is just so funny. The road trip, just the little
Everyone's
things.
passed out, but there's one guy that I won't name, and we pull back into Plano, and he's like, right there. Oh, I don't think I can say it.
You're gonna have to
That's right, yeah.
But there's just little things, man, that make it so much worse. It's almost like and I've described it on this show before. It's like this small, like, communion. You know, it's like a church where everyone gets to go and be. It's
like
very
a summer
co-ed.
camp. It's like a summer camp.
It's
you
like
know,
a summer camp you never come back from.
People that you normally wouldn't, you know, you don't think you would really hang out and get along with that. My roommate's 50-something, 50, let's just say 52, and he's a gay man. And, like, we're like best friends, dude.
Yeah.
There's no uncomfortableness.
And you guys are hilarious together, too.
Dude,
you guys are like
so
a
funny.
sitcom.
He's so funny. He trips me out. Because, like, I think he was nervous when he first came around. You know, he's been around now for
He's
over
fairly
a year.
newer than both of us, too.
Oh, yeah, comparatively.
He's getting funnier, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But he...
Do you think living with a comic helps that?
Yes, I think that every day you're chit-chatting, talking, bouncing your stuff off each other, and you're talking about, like, oh, I think you did this. And it depends on your communication. He's really honest, I'm really honest, so if I don't do well, he's like, yeah, you kind of sucked. You know, you got to do this or you got to do that.
Yeah, it's always important as someone who's not going to.
Because I'm now in my first situation where I'm living with 2 other comedians.
Oh, yeah. It's going to suck at first. Yeah, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, well, you? No. But it's like if you take it the right way.
Is it funny?
Living with other comedians?
Is dinner funny usually?
We have a show that we're putting together, trying to get
like
a
what?
reality type show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we have a couple show ideas in mind.
Okay.
Because, you know, Bender is like a guru with fashion. And we were standing outside one night and, you know, having a drink somewhere. And it was like the gala was going on. And he's like, oh, she has a beautiful Gucci thing. You know, and I'm like, he's like you know all this stuff really well. So I was thinking he should just, like, dress up nice or, like, get a backdrop and have him interview the people coming out of the gala. I'll just be out there normal. I'll just be my normal self with a sport coat.
Right.
And I'll be sitting near people, like, you know, on the sidewalk.
I mean, you guys live like a sitcom, man. I mean, there's definitely an age gap. There's definitely a culture gap. Like, and you guys are both so funny together, man.
Yeah. I
living out in Dallas too. People need to see your Snapchats. I wish I had. His place is nice.
It's nice. Yeah, we have a, you know, nice little spot, and
downtown. I mean, it's got to be cool for comedy living in like an urban.
It's
setting.
great whenever you can
People
go.
watching.
Yeah, man. You hear the cops in the morning. Today, vendor opens the door and was like, "Shut up!" and like yelled at the cops. Yeah, because the sirens are,
throws his shoe at the cat. It's like a cartoon.
The sound carries through the buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and it just sounds like they're right there the whole time. But it's great, man.
You ever miss living out here?
And Denton?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really.
35 is so bad.
Yeah.
And you got to go down and out of there.
You used to live right off 35 too. You were like literally, your neighbor was the highway.
Mm-hmm. Like if I walked 15 feet, I'd be on the highway. Like, it's just not fun living by the highway, but Denton is a great place. I love it, but it's almost like Hawaii, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of stuck here. You got here. You don't want to deal with the traffic. You got to leave at a certain time.
Especially comedy-wise, too. I mean, that's what a lot of people don't realize that the Denton comics have to put up with. Like, if you want to take it to the next level, such as, like, someone like myself, Tony, or all the other, like, yourself, the guys who, Sal, the guys who started out here and then had to go work the clubs, we have to drive an hour every day to go to a club or a legitimate, like,
in the
comedy
beginning,
venue.
you gotta wait there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's gone.
Oh yeah, exactly. When we started, we would get up
Totally
so late.
doesn't feel worth it.
Exactly. I'd go up. I used to go up at 1 o'clock, then I'd have to drive back, get here at 2. Now I go up at like 11 and still get back here at 12. What were you saying?
Nah, just like I feel like if you just paid everybody off.
But you don't have. You're just.
It doesn't always work that way.
It does in rap though, because in rap you can be like, you know.
Well,
are you being even serious right now? What are you talking about?
No,
pay somebody off.
I feel like there's people you could just pay to be like, hey, let me go first. Hey, I don't want to be at 11.
But you're doing comedy. You don't have money.
You can't do that all the time.
No. But you don't get into comedy until after you have money. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's what all those famous actors.
I'm not giving anyone money. That's my Jack in the Box taco money. I can't afford to give you anything.
But that's not something that someone who like
strike it rich.
You don't start in comedy and have that kind of lifestyle. That's like those famous Hollywood actors.
And everyone
they
will
get
hate
burnt
you.
out and they're like, oh, I'm gonna. It's like Blake Griffin for the Clippers. Like he's funny and now he's gonna go do stand up and now he's gonna get bumped up because he's Blake Griffin, but he's not necessarily stage funny.
He's pretty
There's a baseball
funny.
player. There's a baseball player that tried stand up.
Who?
I can't remember his name. I think he played for Oakland.
Oakland? Oh,
yeah.
Josh. He's that outfielder, the one who dresses up as the wrestler sometimes.
I don't know.
I don't know. I forgot that guy's name. I think his walk-up song's "Careless Whisper." How does that song go?
Careless Whisper. No, I've never heard that song.
Well, it was a pretty careless whisper.
I do know that.
That's Careless Whisper.
Oh, da-na-na-na-na.
Oh, now you're.
I know that one.
How did we not win a damn award? That's what I'm not certain of.
How did it? I have a few. Somebody didn't host this year, so I know that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't buy it this year. You did improv yesterday, right?
Yeah. Dude,
Addison Improv.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Who runs that?
Alfred Kingo puts them together. Yeah.
Those are fairly new shows, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've only been going on for a reason.
How was it? How many people are there?
Not a whole lot.
It's a Tuesday show.
It's
small.
It's
30 or something.
What else would I be? It's
no,
like,
absolutely.
It's just I get to do that.
That's better than
there.
any Tuesday mic.
Yeah.
You're at a comedy club, the best comedy club.
It's challenging. And
Yeah,
it's like shows you, and I did fine. Like I didn't think I did that great. I think everybody else I did better than I did. But try to work new angles with jokes.
Yeah.
Trying to do something in a club environment, but it's not quite a show on the weekend. So
it's
not paying
exactly
you.
because that Addison Improv is built like an old Italian restaurant. It's just so
Am I
long
in deja
and
vu, or
short.
did you say that earlier?
Oh, I said that earlier. I think whenever we were.
Oh, I don't know if I said
Thanks
that
for
to you. I felt like I
ruining
had
it.
talked. Okay, I don't. But that's what I think when I walk in that place.
Is it the
It's
same
built-
place? Is there another place that looks like a?
No, Addison Improv is the place. It looks like it was built like,
Most of the improvs look like Arlington Improv.
which is like a.
I've never
I
been
don't
in them.
I don't even know.
Like a
how to-
What is
comedy
Arlington
club?
Improv?
which is
mean?
like a comedy club.
It's just the improv that's in Arlington.
But what is improv?
Improv is a stand-up comedy national brand club.
Okay.
that-
Every
Yeah.
big.
It doesn't
city
mean
has
you
an
have to
improv.
improvise
Usually in shopping
everything?
centers. No, it's not improv. They started off like years ago.
That's what I'm like.
Isn't that-
Dang.
that's weird. That's such an old school comedy club model, and most of them are all still in shopping centers. Not just improvs too, like the Funny Bone and like I think it's
a lot of the
Funny
Funny Bones are
Cincinnati's.
the Improv and the Funny Bones are kind of under the
Okay.
same.
What about
weird.
Zanies in Rosemont when I went in Chicago? That one, like most, I've been to so many
They're
comedy
in shopping
clubs.
centers?
Yeah, I mean, Mall of America in Minneapolis has a comedy club right there on the 3rd floor. When you walk in by the food courts, like I've seen so many comedy clubs in shopping centers, and I don't know if it's a foot traffic thing. I guess.
think so. I mean, because a lot of the nights too, they're not doing on the weekends. Like they want to pull some people in on Tuesday night for a magic show or for a hypnotist show or for a, they do those Wednesday shows. They used to.
How many comedy shows did you go to before you got into stand up? Because that's another thing that interests me too. Really? Okay, because like
I was really into comedy.
I was really into it on TV, but I had never been to a show.
Hey, the same place I was last night. I remember I was on stage and I thought about it. I had seen Pauly Shore there in 2007.
At Addison
That's
Improv.
where I met Paul Varghese.
At Improv.
Yeah, he filled in for him because Pauly Shore got food poisoning.
In 2007, you met him?
Yes.
When did you?
I didn't meet Pauly Shore.
When did you start getting serious about? Because I know you started stand up.
2012 was my first open mic. June of 2012.
Okay.
But I didn't.
But you didn't do it every day.
Yeah,
like
I picked at it. I went like maybe 2 handfuls of times between over 2 years.
It was like 2015 when you.
When
got
I
back
met you
into
is when I like really committed in lockdown.
It was what 2015ish or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Man, dude, we are so night and day.
Because people look at me
Both
like,
of us are so. It's such a different thing now, you know.
Well, it's it's way different than it was when we started. And people, people will think of me more as like a 3-year, but when I look at all my Facebook friendships, anniversaries, they're all like 2 years. So I really only been plugging at it for 2 years.
I think Javorce the other day was saying he's 3.5, and I've been saying 3.5. I think.
Well, there's people that I'd be like, I did comedy one time when I was in high school, and I won a contest, and they've been doing comedy for 20 years. I was like, it's like, no, you haven't been doing that ever since then.
Well, Javor's saying he's been 3.5, and he's been doing it every day. Like, he's been a lot. I mean,
2.
I've been saying 3.5 for a while now, though. So I might be.
You just say that forever.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm at. I would just have to scroll back on a
I just
post.
round about 3 years.
I don't even know how many years I've been doing anything
I might be at 4 right now, and I don't really want to think that. I think I'd be better.
No, I think you're right around about 3-ish because you weren't around when I was around before. I had done it like 3 or 4 months, like pretty steady, and everybody in Denton, like
I know I'm past 3 years
because the only people in Denton doing comedy whenever I was doing it here before was like Brett Pivoto. Brett Crow was doing his thing. Mm-hmm. Who else was out here? I mean, every now and then somebody will pop in and out. Byron Stamps would pop in, but there was no one else doing anything. And then I left for a while and I come back, and I didn't know who you were yet. You were gone. And then you came back and I met you.
But see, and there was a decent amount of time before I had left that I was. Let me see how far back.
So I think that was about 3 years.
I started Austin area, New Orleans, went up the east, like southeast through the East Coast.
How long
Midwest
had you
to
been?
Southwest, like 4. I was on the road for like 3-4 months.
No, but how long had you been doing comedy?
Before that? Is that what you're saying? Before that, like a year and a half, like way too short to even be going and doing what I was doing. But it's cool. It helped me meet people. Sucks because, like they haven't seen me do probably stand up since. And I was a lot better than I was when I was out there. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll right now. See when I had started on the Instagram because I know I posted about it because I wanted all that attention.
Was that a picture of me?
No. See, I used to have that long hair. All right, here we go. That's the first show I ever did. It was in a backyard. It was very Denton. Denton backyard. They had people registering to vote. It was under Icky Antics. Christina Olsch through those shows. You're showing the wrong camera, Rich. They still can't really tell. Let me see. What's the date on it? May 19th, 2014.
Yeah, that's probably
Jeez, dude.
Probably 3.5 now.
I'm closing in on 4, dude.
Dang. And what have you done?
It doesn't matter though.
I'm just kidding.
Nothing. That's what I'm. But it's crazy because you sit here and
you like worked in clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I've got to work in clubs. I've got to travel. I've gotten paid on the road. It's cool, man. I mean, but it's one of those things that's crazy. You hear like these big guys that we're fans of. You hear their podcasts and they're like they've been doing it 30 years. And they talk about 10 years it takes to find your voice. And I'm like, I
don't know about all that.
We're in that weird middle. You don't think so?
I think you know where you're going with your voice way earlier, but maybe you're not like.
I don't think you're as self-aware of it.
That's how long for everybody. Then why?
No, I don't think that's
because we're all on a different level of like rate of progress.
Right. I don't think that's like a definitive thing.
Nah.
I think
I just did like 10 years of work for someone that is only doing 2 or 3 mics a week for the last 10 years. I just basically did that.
I think that time though, like I think that time helps you become more self-aware of like what makes you funny, like what like it puts.
A lot of people
it takes time to get in that mindset to recognize
or have life experience, because a lot of people start when they're 18, 20 years old and they don't know anything.
Nothing's happened to you, you know.
Yeah. But see, I have a little bit like somebody was saying. I just turned 34, but I have like things I've gone through and stuff. You know, I've lived through stuff like the military and college and all this other stuff, and I guess I realized I've tried so many things, and I went through my mind what else I might want to do. Like I wanted to go to law school at one point, and I realized like I don't want to do any of that stuff. And it's like I was living because I wanted other people to look at me and respect me and see me with some sort of prestige or something, and you respect.
It's not about that though.
Right, it's not. And so I realized like
do you
I'm
think
when
you started doing stand up though, there was kind of it was a little bit about that, and then you realized stand up doesn't get you that. You know what I mean? It doesn't get you like
for myself.
Right.
Because I knew I kept going to open mics, leaving. I did it for years. I wouldn't go up, you know.
I started show up, you would watch.
23, 24 years old, all the way until I was 28. I go and leave open mics. And I met Paul Verghese in 07. Oh, that's what I was talking about. And then.
For those that know, Paul's a big comic.
Yeah, he's a big Dallas guy.
And
that was 07. It's like, you know, it was 10, 11 years ago. And he was like 7 years in then. And, you know, and he killed it. And then I came back and watched Pauly Shore the next night. And then last night I was staying on the same stage. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I never thought I'd be up here, you know. So I
full circle.
And then, like, I at the same time realizing that, like a month or two ago, I don't remember if it was January or December, like, there I was, like, opening for Pauly Shore. And standing in there listening to him tell me, like, this is what you're going to do. This way. And he's, like, getting mad because something was going on after the show or something. And he's like, no, it ain't going to happen. But in my head, I'm still like, whoa, it's Pauly Shore.
It's Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, you don't it's not like a starstruck thing, because I've been around a few times now just because of working at the club and then him being there.
It's weird how adjusted you get to being around someone like that, because you just realize, and it sounds so cliche, but they're just a person, it's like...
And he, like, ate some chicken wings.
It only takes, like, being in someone's presence for, like, 10 minutes, and then they're like, oh... regular person.
But when he talks, though,
because I like I said,
like, oh, it's him.
Yeah. When we,
what's up, dude?
We were talking about this at Rusty's when we hung out with Brian Posehn. He's the one who asked us to hang out after the show. Like Brian Posehn, you know, Sarah Silverman's show, Devil's Rejects, you know, great comedian, you know, and he just wants to like hang out. And we were, and you know, you're sitting there and you're just like, this is just a dude who wants to like. He probably got into this why I did. He was probably
they don't see anybody anymore. He's on the road. And
you don't have friends.
That goes away. I started to realize like. You're supposed to be in Denver, and you're gone, and you realize, like, man, I'm not going to be around this core group of people. I think I missed all my comic friends here. I don't have the same relationship with those comedians there. They don't know me. So, you know, I started and went through a lot of stuff here with a lot of the people that I'm doing comedy with.
That's one of the things that gets scary about moving to one of those bigger markets. You know, eventually leaving New York, LA, Chicago. It's big for you. You know, it's huge.
You got to stay in there.
But a lot of people don't realize, you know, the scene out here, well, sometimes it feels like, you know, like any scene, it can be cliquey and stuff. The DFW scene, we have a pretty good core group of people here. And, I mean, you know, not going to blast it on the show. There was a recent.
I mean, not even to blast it on the show. And they're worse. They're arguing more than
right. Not even to blast on the show. There was a recent thing that happened in the comedy community that brought a bunch of people together.
Detroit
and stuff.
Detroit has a great, they have a great scene. They've really like, you know, I don't know, they're all excited, you know, with each other.
To be doing stand up and
but they still have their stuff, you know, and they're still arguing. And they start talking. You don't know who the people are. Just plug in any names, and it's the same conversation that we're having in Dallas, and the same one they're having in Denver. Everyone's always got beef. Someone's getting blocked. I already blocked that person. I blocked him 5 years ago. And there's always these arguments, like 140 comments. Remember you came to my house and there was like 200 comments, and I'm just going through reading the drama. You know, and
that's too much. I would just pay everybody.
I just stay out of it.
And you wouldn't pay anybody. Stop. You don't have. You would.
What
have
are you talking
money.
about paying? I was living in a van. That's why I got sad. I would be in the van in Denver. I'd go to the DFW comedian forum, and I'm reading the drama.
And it's still fresh. Comedy Complaints. For those that don't know, there's a Comedy Complaints page on Facebook if you want some comedian drama.
I heard about that.
No,
John, plugs.
Let's see. What do I got coming up? Well, I know for sure April 19th weekend through 21st. I'm in Dallas Hyenas with Dustin Diamond.
Nice.
What? Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Screech from Saved by the
Bell. May. Well, I'm in Denver next week. I'm gonna be at the Improv in Looney's Friday and Saturday. I'm just doing spots there. But around here, Fort Worth Hyenas on May 24th weekend or something like that with Tim Gaither.
Nice. Oh, I've opened for Tim. Tim's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's cool. I met him in Denver.
He's a nice dude.
I met him in Denver. Met him.
He's funny too, man.
Like 4 months
that real Southern funny guy.
Yeah, he's like, hey man.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, welcome my dog in LA.
Plugs.
Hey guys, sorry I missed my payment. I'll be paying y'all off soon. Tomorrow I'm gonna be at Windstar.
Are you actually performing?
Not performing. I'll be at Windstar for a little while though.
I'll be playing.
And then I'll be playing at Abbey Underground
I'll be
tomorrow
at the Hangover
night.
slot machine.
And then Friday night I'll be at Killers doing magic, and I'll be with Puddintain doing music at Abbey, and then Wax Logic on Saturday. So yeah, catch me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at some point during one of my things.
Hell yeah. Well, March 9th, I will be at Backyard on Bell. I'm booking the show. It's a stand-up comedy show for the North Texas Comedy Festival. It's not for the festival. It's a pre-show brought to you by the festival. I'll try and do a guest spot. So March 9th, 9 o'clock, Backyard on Bell. Other than that, I'll be doing some shows in Colorado, the 10th through the 16th.
Hit you up for a
Pay him
spot
off.
on there.
Pay him off, bro.
Come on, man.
But it's dope. We got like Nick
on the spot.
pay
I
you
got
last.
Nick Fields, I got Jamie Gravy, Wes Corwin, Brett Crow will be doing some music, so it'll be fun.
The animal guy, Wes Corwin.
Every Thursday, Killers open mic every Sunday, Bearded Monk open mic. Those start at 6:30. We are brought to you by Deep Wax Productions. March 10th, they are doing that Bearded Monk show. Pillow fight. Go check it out. Javoris and people will be pillow fighting, and you'll be drinking beer. And it's all for veterans with PTSD.
Yes.
So, nobody knows. Every Wednesday, 5:30. This was that. John, thanks, dude. I'm glad we finally
We
got
love
you on.
y'all.
Oh, hugs. Bye, people.
Bye-bye.
You were dope. See you next
Hi,
week.
Mom.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to invite you to join us on Facebook and check out our friends Deep Wax Productions as well as Classic of Denton.